There we go. That trick has yet to disappoint me. So what do you say now, you piece of shit? I'll make you pay for what you... Well, that's just great. The fucker brought his bitch with him.
Put down your weapon. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, is that so?
All of your men are dead. And even if you manage to get past us, there are dozens of guards further up. So put down your weapon, or you will regret it.
Such determination. All right, then. Die!
As you wish. Are you all right? It's nothing. Did he hurt you? Can you walk? I fell, thank Malphus, into a thicket farther down the ruin. It was some kind of machine room, at least that's what it looked like to me. And luckily enough, that's also how the traps in the entrance are being controlled. I tried to deactivate them. We'll see if it worked. Anyway, do you see the camp down there? We should take a look at it. Gold. And I doubt it's the fruit of honest labor. So that's what this was all about? They fled here to protect their loot? We should bring this to the Order. Maybe we can find out who they stole it from.
Oh, you can't do that.
Stay right there. Who are you?
I'm not one of them. Please don't hurt me. Oh, by the righteous path. What did I get myself into? Alice Summerstone. I'm just a simple man, a farmer by me path. I have 2 daughters, me woman and a little farm girl just a few miles from Ark. Maybe you know one of me girls. She sells our bread at the market, Mondas de Freiras. Yes, exactly. That's her. Aye, of course. Do you know who Landlord Borek is?
He's one of the most influential landlords of the Farmer's Coast. Both the Guard and the Order get their food from his lands. What does he have to do with this?
Everything. He's a pathless bastard. And all of this is his fault. I swear it by me name.
Why?
Because he's a criminal, that's why. Believe me, I know how that sounds. But it's the truth. You have to believe me. The tolls he collects from his tenants are so high that we hardly have anything left to eat. And those who don't pay get beaten up by his lackeys. But that's not all of it. He also knows the Relata. Aye, who else? They believe themselves above Malphus, above the Holy Path. And they are powerful. Which is also why no one does anything about them. No, this money isn't his. I had debts. It all started 3 years ago, when we had a very bad harvest, and I couldn't pay me toll for the first time. Borek gave me a loan, but he said that I'd have to pay interest next time. Well, I think you can figure out the rest. I knew from a friend that there was this man in the Undercity, this Carrick, and he said that he and his men might be willing to help me, if they would get money from it. Apparently they even had a sense of honor and path-abidingness, if you can call it that. They're from a traveling merchant. We ambushed him, and You know what we did. But I swear by me name we didn't hurt him. When we had the money, all Sunfire started breaking loose. Some kind of woman appeared, all veiled and dressed in black. And in the wink of an eye, she killed 2 of Carrick's men. We tried to fight her at first, but then we ran for it. Well, and ended up in this ruin. I know. I was there. Carrick was so mad about all that happened with this witch woman, you know? I think he just wanted to get his men to safety. But still, you're right. I was a fool to trust him, and I regret what I did. She didn't speak much, but yes, she had dark robes. And she was different. Unholy. Sorry, I don't know how to describe her any better. Me farm and me family, aye. Please, it's the right thing to do. If I don't have the money by the next turn of the moon, Boric and his lackeys will change their tune. And I know what that means.
It's a tough call. I can understand his motivation, but that doesn't change the consequence of his actions. If we let him run, we legitimize his crime, so to speak. You should justify your crime before the tribunal. Explain to them what Boric did, and they might judge you lightly.
Judge lightly? You don't really believe that, do you? They don't care about the why, and even if they do, it doesn't change a damn thing about the fact that me family is lost without this money.
Maybe, but it doesn't change that you're at least partially responsible for what happened here. But it's your call.
No, but... Oh, damn. What did I get myself into?
By the prophet's ass, you really got them all. You don't stop surprising me, that's for sure. And neither do you, Keeper Sakaresh. Thanks for deactivating the traps up there. Who's our shackled friend here? He doesn't look like one of the bandits.
No, but he's guilty nonetheless. Can you escort him to Ark?
To Ark? Sure. Jakil, Jorel, you take care of that. Alright then. I'd say if this machine is somewhere in this ruin, it's here. I suggest you two take a look around. We'll cover your back in the meantime.
suppose we found our machine. At least, what's left of it. Do you feel anything, Saira? With your gift, I mean. Agreed. Maybe we can even take some small parts of it with us right now. The Order will transport the rest to Ark by Myrad. What strange metal. It didn't rust at all, despite all the time it's been here.
All this energy, it's useless without the Numinos.
Yes? Found something? Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Sairo is Kyranian and can mean a lot of things, but the closest translation in our case would be brother in arms. My foster father called me that, so I suppose it's just an old habit. I like the way it sounds, though. If you don't mind, I'll call you that from now on. Yes? Found something? Yes? Yes, you're right. How is it possible that it moves all by itself? Let's take it with us.
Correct. Nothing else possesses that much raw, magical power.
It works in a way we have not even come close to comprehending, like a cosmic force.
Yes? Found something? They look useful. Let's take them to the Chronicum. Let me see. Yes. Yes, I think you're right. Hopefully we didn't miss anything. Let's go talk to Pegast. Yes?
Now that was quick. So, what did you find? Well, that's not much of a surprise considering how long it was down here. And as long as we can reconstruct it, that's alright. I sent some of my men back to Ark. We'll request a caravan to get all the parts back to the temple and see what we can do from there. Let's just hope it really will help us against this cleansing, whatever it is. As much as I admire Pyrean technology, I don't like the idea of putting our lives in the hands of it. Let me see. Interesting. Truly interesting.
What?
Seems that this machine was only some kind of prototype. The real one the Pyreans were working on must be somewhere else. Plus, there's also a name for it. The Pyreans called it the Beacon.
That's poetic.
Indeed. Well then, it seems like you and your visions have once again saved the day, Prophet. There's a lot for us to do now. If you've taken care of your business here, I suggest you head back to Ark and report to old Oranthiel.
What do you think, Saira? Do you want to leave now, or stay a little longer? Good. There you are. Pegast's mages have already told the Grandmaster about our find, and they're waiting for us in the Emporium. Let's go.
All that I am saying is that there are more efficient ways to battle this red madness. And heathen machines atop the Sun Temple are the last thing that will calm the townsfolk.
Maybe. But if this heathen machine is what the Pyreans used to combat the cycle, I want it near. Even if it turns out to be useless, only a fool turns down a chance. Sharim, how long will the reconstruction take?
Well, that depends on how many Pyrean mechanics you have on hand that can help us decipher these plans. Just think for once, Aranthiel. How are we supposed to give you an estimation if we don't even know what the finished machine is supposed to look like?
We will get to work right away, Grandmaster. But in any case, we're going to need a lot of steel and Pyrean crystals.
You will get them. Now, get to work. You did excellent work. We will reconstruct this machine, no matter the price. Here, this will reward you for your effort. That still leaves the sigil stone. It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigil stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness. Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can. Walk blessed, Prophet. Yes. Why do you... They did. What are you getting at? A fair point. So, they reminded me that I especially felt that in the cloister. In fact, this is precisely what... Yes? Good question. In their right, the Pyrean... But as for what happened before that... A better word would be... chess... No.
Prophet?
Saira, good to see you. Do you need anything? Yes, it is. Master Tyrus, my foster father. He was half Kyranian, as you might have guessed already. Tattoo? Oh, of course, you mean my mark. I've had that for as long as I can remember, and I don't have the slightest idea as to how I got it. No, it isn't. It's just there, that's all. It does. You're the first to tell me that. But thanks, I guess. That's what Tyrus said too. But if it has a meaning, it's obscure. I couldn't find anything in the books and the not without leaving a bad scar, at least according to the apothecary. And even if that weren't the case, I don't know if I'd want it gone. It reminds me of something. That's what Tyrus said too. But if it... No, it isn't. It's just there, that's all. Well, what should I think about them? They're disquieting. Speaking of which, recently there's been word from the League of Apothecari up north. They say that their studies on the Red Madness haven't borne fruit yet, and that it is like no disease they've ever encountered. Honestly, that has rid me of the last of my doubts about the cycle being real, just as the Grandmaster said. Let's just hope we can find out how to stop it. Well, as I told you, the novitiate was very challenging. I never really liked that kind of pastime, and I still don't. I've never really thought about things like that. Life in the temple is quite secluded, and I doubt there are many men or women who would find my way of living attractive. But forgive me, that's very personal. I don't really want to talk about it. That's true, but when I feel the need to relax, I prefer taking a stroll or spending time in the baths. Whatever secret there is about relaxing to loud music, raucous shouting, and alcohol is beyond me. It was stitched into the blanket they found me in near that village. I don't really know if it is my actual name, but I had nothing else to go with, so it stuck. That's convenient, actually. I think I still owe you an explanation. Yes, but let's talk somewhere else. Come on. So, sorry for all the secrecy. I just didn't want anyone else to listen in. Well, that moment when I neutralized the leader of the bandits in Old Dothilgrad, I'm sure you noticed that I was different then. Upset. You choose your words carefully, Saira. I appreciate that. I'll make this quick. There is something about me that you don't know. That no one knows, actually. Do you remember what I told you in the curarium about the destroyed village? Well, I wasn't entirely honest with you. Not all of it, no, and it's true that I don't know how I ended up there. But I remembered something just before I regained consciousness. Some kind of vague memory. A feeling coupled with an image. It's hard to describe because it didn't last very long, but I saw myself, but I was somehow above the rooftops, as if I flew. Below me, I saw all the chaos, the dead, the fire, the devastated houses, and I somehow felt hot, but from inside, as if my blood was boiling. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? I'm sorry, but I don't know how to describe it better than that. It was something that actually happened, I'm sure of it. But the memory, it was somehow blurred. Like a dream, but a very vivid one. Nothing. I woke up, and from there things happened just as I've already told you. But that's not really what I'm trying to get at. In that memory, when I saw all those dead bodies and all that destruction, I felt satisfaction, pleasure. As if all that suffering, all that pain was the most exhilarating thing I'd ever seen. Well, I didn't know what to make of that memory myself for quite a long time. But then, things happened that made me understand. There is something inside my head, Saira. Some kind of second soul, an entity. Most of the time it sleeps, but there are situations in which it wakes up. Mostly when something atrocious happens or has happened. Blood, pain, death. Whenever I'm confronted with these kinds of things, it tries to... I don't know how to put it. Tries to take control of me, and then things like Alt Dothilgrad happen. It's never managed to completely take me over, and it hasn't gotten as far as it did in Alt Dothilgrad for a long, long time now. But that memory from the village, I think that is what happens when I let myself go completely. Yes, it is immense, Saira. I can feel it every time it is trying to take me over. I don't even want to think about what would happen if I were to give in completely. I figure. Listen, what happened in Old Dothelgrad, I never should have let it come to that. But that moment when he charged me, the blood on his sword, I just couldn't contain it. And when I gave in, when I hacked him into pieces, I simply felt so thrilled, complete. I was naive to believe it would never get that far again. Naive and stupid. But do you see now? This is the reason why I train so hard, why I always try to control my emotions, no matter what people do or say to me. This creature inside me, it's always on the hunt. And the only way I can keep it at bay is by controlling both my body and spirit 100%. Just one moment of carelessness. That's all it takes. Only Master Tyrus, my foster father. He taught me how to contain it by controlling my thoughts. And he also advised me never to tell anyone about it, which I haven't, until today. I don't know. Probably because I was afraid you'd tell someone else about what happened in Old Dothelgrad and that would raise suspicions. A coward's move, I know, but it was the best solution I could come up with. I'm sorry. I don't know. And truth be told, I'm not sure I want to. No way that I know of, at least. Who should I ask? The apothecary? There are two ways that would go. Either they would ridicule me, or they would take me seriously and report my condition to the Order. Neither way helps me, and who knows what the Order would do if they found out, especially as strained as the situation is right now. Well, what would be the alternative? Transcribe Pyrean books like the Magisters do all day? Or drop out entirely and pour hot water for the upper city's noblewomen? Look, Saira, as you already pointed out, there is a chance that this thing inside me is responsible for the massacre in the village. And if that's true, I definitely have a lot of repentance to do, don't you think? And even if it isn't, I want to change things, to make the world at least a little bit better. And yes, I do realize that this means a lot of hardship and hard work for me, but I'm not afraid of that. Do you know why? Because that's what's missing in this world. So many people just talk and never act, because that would mean that they'd have to actually endure something for what they believe in. Determination alone hasn't helped anyone yet. Let's talk again in a few years, and we'll see if my good intentions have actually produced results. I'd like some time by myself now, and thanks for listening.
This just... makes sense.
Yes? If it's really necessary, what do you want to know? If that were the case, I probably would. Usually it's just thoughts, and they're almost always there. It's as if there's always something lurking in the dark corners of my mind, just waiting for me to give in. It's tough, to say the least. I don't know if you can relate to that. Yes, but at what price? It isn't just what happens on the outside when it tries to take me over, Saira. At least not just that. It's what goes on inside. My thoughts, my feelings. Imagine you are walking through a forest, all on your own. Then you hear heavy breathing, sobbing, and as you follow it, you find a wounded hunter. He's been mauled by a bear and is now heavily injured and delirious. That is the part of me that is myself, would want to help this man, to get him to safety. But the moment I see blood, the smell of death, these other thoughts start invading my mind. Yes, and that sight, it would arouse it. I can't find a better word for it. If I were to give in, it would... Forgive me, Saira. I can't talk about this. I am sorry. Yeah, it's just odd to talk about it like this. Honest answer? I don't know, and I don't want to know. I would transform into whatever this creature is, but it will never come to that. You have my word.
The fabled prodigy.
Walk blessed.
Brother, walk blessed. How are things?
So what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average crypt corpse.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ashian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes, this is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. All you have to do is remember the glyphs in the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. That's right, but the priest himself did, and according to the legend, this should allow you to understand. You're telling me. I myself feel like well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't take it. It will be enough to find it. Use it on the Pyrean and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the word of the dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you. A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Then you'll flee. There must be no violence, no matter what happens. Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
Whew. And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myritz Tower at the Western Cliff. Just meet me at the Western Cliff, okay? I'll wait for you there.